to make a difference, to change a life, to become a global citizen. The aspirations fueled by education. In 2005, a student at the University of Wisconsin, Stevens Point, inspired by his study of photography as an instrument of social change, traveled to the other side of the world to document humanity in one of its most troubling conditions. In the heart of one of the worst regions of human trafficking, Joseph Quinnell came here to a school called the Development and Education Program for Daughters and Community, founded by Nobel Peace Prize nominee Sampap Jentraka. The school is in Thailand, near the Myanmar border. The students here are stateless, without and unable to obtain citizenship in any country. In the 21st century, these are the faces of the people at the highest risk of being sold into slavery.
When I returned to UWSP, and I was just a student again sitting behind a desk taking notes, I was really emotionally distraught, and I needed to do something more, and I needed to help these children at the school who basically did not exist and were told at such a young age that you will never be able to do this, you'll never be able to do this, you'll never be able to get a job where you're not working under the table, you'll never be able to go to university. Which is the exact opposite of what we were told here in the United States. We were told you can be anything, if you study hard and you have the ambition and the drive, the opportunities are there for you. And so I wanted to match what we have here in the United States.
Quinnell set out to share what he'd seen in Thailand through an exhibition of his photography, presented first on campus at UW Stevens Point, then throughout the state and on other campuses in the U.S. Eventually, UW Stevens Point established a short-term study abroad program during winter break that sends art, music, theater, and communication students to the school in Thailand to provide the students there with their year's only arts education. The natural next step would be to bring students from the DEPDC to study in Wisconsin.
How are you going to get a stateless individual who cannot leave their district, to the other side of the planet? So that was the first hurdle, and I traveled back to Thailand at that time, met with the U.S. consulate in Chiang Mai, and presented this idea, this what if we do this? And they also were very supportive of the idea, and they said, yes, I think we can do this. I think we can grant student visas. But the next hurdle from the U.S. consulate was we need to get permission from the Thai government that they can exit Thailand and re-enter after their studies are complete. And before we could make that ask, we needed to have enough money for tuition for at least their first year. Students were asked to donate $5 within a 5-day period. And we raised $12,000 within 1 week. And so that outcry of student support, we had over 160 student volunteers during that week. We had booths all over campus. And so we had student support, we had faculty support, we had support from the chancellor, administration, and we had support throughout the state of Wisconsin.
The first 2 students to come from Thailand to Stevens Point are on campus now, developing their English language proficiency, and they expect to begin as freshmen in fall 2009.
I will to be communication major, and I want to go back to Thailand to work about network, about another country, and everyone. I want everyone know about the problem trafficking. Yeah.
I want to be counseling in DEPDC, and then because now have many children don't have counseling, and they cannot do better. When they have counseling, we can help for the good life, anything. Yeah.
Yeah, everyone really excited to see me, and everyone really want to know about story, about problem, and everyone want to help a lot.
Yeah. And then in Thailand have many problems, trafficking, child, everything.
I believe that these young women have a bright future at our institution, and I'm absolutely convinced that when they return to Thailand, they are going to be leaders from the next generation of people fighting against human trafficking. So to have played a role in that as an institution and also as an individual is tremendously gratifying, and I think it really is going to positively affect the lives of thousands of people over the coming decades. So this is an amazing accomplishment on the part of a whole bunch of individuals, and it really is going to make the difference in the lives of others.
UW Stevens Point leads all Wisconsin universities in the percentage of students who study abroad. And this university of 9,100 students attracts a relatively large number of international students.
I just think there is that urge that's coming more to the fore with a lot of young people, but I also think the opportunities are coming to the fore. And we've been openly talking about in our culture in the last several years what it means to be part of globalization or global citizenship. So that's what I see sort of coming. It's as if we're hitting kind of critical mass now, and you can get a situation like Joseph going to Thailand and coming back and finding space at the university where I'm sure he would have always gotten a reception. That's not the issue. But more than just a reception, some real opportunities, some doors are opening up to make it something that we can make happen at the university.
A combination of private funds makes a UW Stevens Point education possible for the first 2 students who've come to America through the Thailand project. The university hopes that as word spreads, sustaining support for many more students will follow.
A student from Park Falls, Wisconsin may not be able to go to Thailand, but if they're aware of what the human rights issues are there and in other places around the world, they can make a contribution. They can do something to address that issue, whether it's a monetary contribution. And our students a year ago donated over $8,000 out of their own pockets to help support the Thailand project. So those students who couldn't go to Thailand, who aren't directly involved, are still making a statement about human rights and human trafficking. So that's so very important for all of our students to have an understanding of what's going on in the world.
Higher education, I really believe, is a key to breaking some of these tougher issues in the world. It's a solution that can be pursued, and I think that these 2 students that are studying here at UWSP are learning not only cultural things, but definitely in the classroom, and the experiences that they'll bring back to Thailand with them will help them, in immeasurable ways. And I can see the potential. I visited the school in Thailand twice now, and I want a higher education to be available to every one of those students. They're all bright and have different passions and different areas that they could really be effective in if they had the opportunity to get an education.
And then we can have a big dream for Help Thailand.
We can change a problem, no problem in the future.